Hello, my name is Masha and welcome to another Not With Me video. Today I'm making a beautiful pumpkin bracelet, which I am extremely happy about because that pattern has been on my to-do list for many years, and I finally got around to making it this autumn season, and it turned out beautifully. I was so thrilled with it, so very excited to share this one with you guys. If this is your first Not With Me, then be warned that this isn't a tutorial. I'm not going to be teaching you how to make this bracelet, though the pattern is linked in the description should you wish to make it, and I also have tutorials on how to read alpha patterns, which this is an alpha pattern, if you didn't know. So that should be able to help you make this bracelet if you so desire, but this is not a tutorial. This is just me filming the process of making the bracelet and speeding it up into a big, satisfying time lapse. There's something really just awesome about spending multiple hours. I think this bracelet took about 5, I actually didn't check, but I think this is right around 5 hours in total. And there's something just so satisfying seeing 5 hours of work condensed into a quick 10 minutes. It's just, you know, I enjoy filming these, I enjoy watching these, I enjoy sharing these, and hopefully you enjoy them as well. There was something very difficult with the colours for this one, to be honest. I struggled with choosing the colours for this one, although I feel like I also say that pretty much every Not With Me video that I film, and that is true. I do struggle with colour choice a lot. You'll see some in some older Not With Me videos, and also just in like collection videos and such for bracelets that I didn't necessarily film, that I do occasionally create bracelets where I'm not that happy with the colours. The ladybug bracelet that I posted in spring this year, for example, is a good showcase of that. I wasn't happy with the shadows for that one. I think there were a couple more that I am blanking on at the moment, but there've been many this year where I chose colours, specifically in alphas mostly, that I just wasn't happy with, and I'm very happy with the colours here, and I really struggled with choosing them, and I'm glad that I chose the ones that I did because they work really well. I think there's something just like specific to alphas that you need a certain contrast to the colours. Even here, like as I'm knotting the leaves, you see there are 2 different shades of the green. You've got the green of the leaf, and then also kind of like a darker shadowy colour for the like inside of it. There's more colours of the pumpkin itself that are going to be incorporated soon, and all of that, you need a certain level of contrast to it, especially with alphas. I think it's less important with normal patterns just because of the way that they're structured. Alphas are kind of essentially pixel art, right? And you need all the different pixels to be well defined and stand out from one another in order for the sort of picture to make sense, which isn't necessarily the case in normal patterns. But here we've got all of the colours finally incorporated. This was actually kind of annoying to work with, specifically right around here, just because of the amount of colours that I was working with in a single row. It was a lot of string management to make sure that they like didn't get tangled in the back and that everything was in the correct place. And it's a lot of effort when you have a lot of colours. I think, yeah, we've gotten rid of the greens by now. I think the greens come back a little bit later as well, but yeah, we're starting to make the pumpkin, and it's all very exciting. As I said, I really love this pattern. I also just really love the feel of pumpkins and the vibes of pumpkins. I'm very big on like seasonal activities. I really enjoy doing seasonal activities. I think that it's a great way to sort of mark and appreciate the time that you are in without, like, I don't know about you, but I struggle with a tendency of rushing towards the future, looking too far into the future and planning for the future. You know, like I'm working on this now, so I struggle with this less so at the moment, but typically I tend to just, yeah, think about the future way too much and not actually be present in the moment as much as I should be, and I've been actively working against that for the last several years. I've been really trying to live life in the moment and seizing the day, as it were, and I think seasonal activities play a big part in that, because instead of thinking about like, oh, how am I gonna celebrate the new year this year? Or what gifts am I gonna give people? And maybe what are my goals for 2024? And what do I want to do for that? Which are still things that I do think about. I want to focus on the time that I have now and actually appreciate the moment that I'm in right now. So seasonal activities really help me do that, and I think making bracelets that are seasonal is also part of that for me. I really enjoy making seasonal bracelets. I do so all throughout, like spring bracelets tend to be like flowers and little animals and stuff for me. Summer bracelets, for me, usually incorporate like fruit or scenery or flowers as well, to be honest. Flowers are pretty much a spring and summer thing as well. Autumnal bracelets, I enjoy making like spooky bracelets and as you see, like pumpkin related ones or whatever. And then obviously for winter we've got like Christmassy stuff and just snowflakes and snowscapes and just cool colors as well in general. I just really enjoy that kind of thing. But also I also really enjoy that thing, that kind of thing in real life, not just like hobby wise, in the sense that we went to a pumpkin patch with my friends, for example. I actually filmed pieces of that for a vlog that's coming out later this week, which hopefully you'll still watch despite it being posted after Halloween, so technically not really pumpkin related, but pumpkins aren't tied to Halloween. Pumpkins are an autumnal thing, even though they are very much tied to Halloween, just, you know, indulge my delusions here. Anyway, we went to a pumpkin patch and that was really fun. As I said, I filmed a bit of it for a vlog, so you're gonna get to see that if you watch that video. But it was just a great time. There was lots of pumpkins in the front where you can choose from, but there was also lots of pumpkins at the back that were actually on the field. You had to like go into the field and pick off the vine directly, which was so much fun. And yeah, I really enjoyed doing that, and it's kind of like this seasonal thing of not only just doing something seasonal, but also like getting together with your friends and appreciating the seasons together. There was something really special about that. And then I went home, and this is all part of the vlog, so I'm kind of spoiling the next vlog, but you're gonna see all of this happen. But for what I did next was I came back home with the pumpkins, and then obviously I gutted them. And this year, instead of just carving them, which actually I haven't done in a really long time, last time I carved pumpkins was in like 2019, also for another vlog actually. Well, not for a vlog, but I filmed it in a vlog back in 2019. That was the last time I carved pumpkins, because, you know, after that we had some years that we didn't really do any seasonal activities in because we didn't do anything in collectively as a people. Anyway, point is, I carved pumpkins. It was really fun, but this time I decided not only to carve them, but also to actually make something out of the pumpkins, which is not something that I've ever done before. Just because I don't know, I've never cooked with a pumpkin. It's not something that I've ever done for whatever reason. But I decided to do that this year. I wanted to do two things. I wanted to do a pumpkin pie, and I wanted to do pumpkin soup. Weirdly, there's not much pumpkin in a pumpkin. At least maybe not, either not in mine, or maybe I didn't do it right, and maybe I didn't like scrape enough off of it, because I was also like scraping it out with a spoon because I was carving it. I couldn't like cut it properly to get all the... Anyway, I got significantly less pumpkin than I expected. I also cut myself so hard. I have a massive scar now on my thumb, which you might see in future videos from cutting myself when I was carving the pumpkins. Thankfully, we have very sharp knives, so the cut was very clean and it healed very easily and quickly, and was actually pretty painless because a sharp knife makes a clean cut. It's very convenient, actually. It was like that. Anyway, I didn't get that much pumpkin, not as much as I expected, so I wasn't able to make the pumpkin soup. I decided to just do the pumpkin pie, so I did that. But I also don't know why I decided to do that, because I have never made a pumpkin pie before, but not only have I never made one, I have never tasted one. I've never had a pumpkin pie, so I had no idea what they're supposed to taste like. I also had no idea what they're supposed to look like, how you're supposed to make them, or if I like them. And you know what? It turns out that I don't. It turns out that I don't like pumpkin pie. So I went through all of that effort to make a pumpkin pie. It turned out fine, by the way. Like, it turned out completely fine. Thomas, my flatmate, had some, and he has eaten pumpkin pie before, and he said that it is pretty much perfect in terms of both consistency and taste. Must say, it doesn't really taste like a pumpkin, surprisingly. I thought it would. Although I guess pumpkin doesn't really taste of anything. It kind of mostly just like tasted of cinnamon and nutmeg and whatever else I put in it. It didn't really taste like pumpkin very much, but he said that it's pretty much exactly how it's supposed to be. But I didn't like it. Yeah, I didn't like it. I enjoyed the process of making it, but it wasn't even about the taste for me, because as I said, it tasted pretty much of cinnamon and nutmeg. I also made whipped cream out of cream. Like, I didn't even use the squirty bottle. I actually whipped cream myself and used that. It was very nice and very professional. But yeah, I didn't enjoy the texture, I think, of the like gooey bit of the pie. Like, it's not about the taste, it was genuinely just about the texture for me, that like I didn't vibe with it. So I made a pie for Thomas, and he ate the whole thing, and he was very happy about that. So but yeah, nonetheless, I really enjoyed doing all of that. Like, that was a really fun thing to do. So hopefully, despite me spoiling the entire vlog, you'll still watch that vlog, and that it's not the entirety of it, I'm still filming pieces of it. I tend to film vlogs over long periods of time, and so I'm still adding to it right now. But yeah, I've really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed this bracelet. This is a really, really beautiful bracelet. I really, really love how it turned out. I hope you like it as well. If you want to make the pattern as I said, it's linked in the description. I had a blast making it, so I really recommend it. Before I go, I want to give a special shout out to my patrons, and especially my top supporters. It's with their support that I'm able to create the videos that I do on this channel. If you're a patron, I really truly appreciate your support. And if you want to become a patron, the link to that is in the description. It's the best way to support the work that I do on this channel. My book, The Beginner's Guide to Friendship Bracelets, is also out worldwide. You can get it as a printed book or as an ebook. There is a link in the description to do so, or you can buy it wherever you typically buy books. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I really enjoyed filming it. This was a wonderful bracelet to create, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!